Welcome back to another episode of a Curiously Good podcast. I'm Noah J. Matthews, and today I'll be joined by author Vella Karman to discuss a genre a lot of people haven't even heard of, magical realism. Today's episode is brought to you by Fantastical Summer, a whimsical kingdom anthology perfect for any trip to the beach. Let's dive in. This isn't your granddad's Christian fiction. It's time to find and celebrate the good stuff. The kingdom writers who are breaking boundaries and eating stereotypes for breakfast. It's time to show the world what a new generation of Christian writers has to offer. It's time to show them something curiously good. There's curiously good kingdom literature all around us. Some of it old, some of it being written as we speak. Welcome to a kingdom-minded conversation for readers. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the holy, the profane. And let's have fun while we do it. All right, so I'm seated here today with Vella Karman. She is an author, fellow student here at the company. We're both going to be graduating like less than a month now.
Yes.
Which is crazy. Did not see that one coming.
I know. They say it's 2 years, and then you get to the end of the 2 years, and you're like, what do you mean it's only 2 years?
I know. It's like there should have been some warnings.
Yeah.
And there probably were, but I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Not until like last week.
I needed that all caps email that was like, okay, now you have half of the program left. Okay, now you only have a quarter of the program left.
Yeah, I missed those emails. I don't think I got them.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah, but Vella, for all the people out there who don't know, just could you tell them a little bit about yourself? Like, who is Vella Karman?
Yeah. Well, hi, I'm Vella Karman. I love God, people, and stories in that order.
That's good.
I am a published author, and I write about belonging as well as overcoming your fear through faith in order to step into freedom on my website, which is vellakarman.com. I'll spell it for you because my name's weird. VELLAKARMAN.com.
That's great. That was a great introduction.
Thank you.
Like, I wish my introductions were that scripted. Or maybe it wasn't scripted, but it was flawless.
Aw, shucks.
So today our topic is we're gonna talk about what is magical realism, the genre, the idea, the philosophy. Maybe
That's deep.
Yeah, it's super deep. But because I think it's sort of an underrepresented genre. It's something that we don't often hear about. When I was looking up before this episode, I think the dictionary said that it's a literary genre that combines fantastical elements or creatures into an otherwise realistic world. Something like that. That's the dictionary definition.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I think a big question in Christian circles especially is it magical realism or is it fantastical realism?
Right.
You can call it either. The thing about it is, though, it's set in this world that's very similar to this world, but it has a twist. And there's a lot of different kinds of twists.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like my book that just came out that has 15 different magical realism short stories. One of them is Noah's, by the way. So,
whoa. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know. And his story has a werewolf romance.
It does. I didn't think I would ever be capable of writing one of those.
Yeah. So werewolf romances are not just for non-Christians. We're redeeming that too. In case you hadn't gotten the memo. But there's stuff like creature stories like that. But there are also things that are broader. Change of the world. For example, another short stories. Humans aren't affected by gravity.
Okay.
And then suddenly, one day, the main character is. And so, like, the ways that the culture is formed based on this allows you to talk about really, really deep things in a fun way. Think like Pixar.
Okay. Yeah, Pixar's. You know, you see the cute, like, animation, you're like, oh, this is a cute kid's movie. Then you watch it, and it just completely tears your soul out. It's so good, though.
Not your soul, just your heart.
Heart.
But yeah, I'd say a very interesting example of magical realism I've been thinking about recently.
Yeah.
Are the Cars movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that would count. Because it's like it's just our world, but the difference is humans are cars.
Exactly. And so, one of my favorite scenes from that movie is when it's Cars 2, which is when Mater's a spy. If you haven't seen it, I highly
I
recommend.
love that one.
Um, and he is in their version of Japan, and he goes to this fancy function, and they have wasabi, which he thinks is pistachio ice cream.
Yeah.
So he asks for a bunch of pistachio ice cream. And then the server doesn't speak English, and he's just like, I don't think you want this much. I don't think you want this much. And he ends up giving him a bunch, and then like he's
Yeah.
overheated or whatever, and he has a leak. And then he like rushes to go to the bathroom because he has a leak. And then the like bathroom stalls are like car washes.
Yeah, that's right.
I would say it's that kind of like fun stuff, but then we also,
Mhm.
because it's Christian, are putting deep themes in it, and
Yeah.
the magical element lets us put deep themes in there in a way that is like very thought provoking and fun that I'm not getting to see as much in other genres.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is the advantage of either, you could do pure, mainline fantasy, but also specifically magical realism is that because we have part of it that is magical, you can shape whatever that magical thing is to become a really natural talking point, if you will, for whatever themes or philosophy or even social commentary that you're trying to make through the story.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm curious as a reader, like, where would you go for fantasy versus where would you go for magical realism versus where would you go for any other genre?
Right. I don't know, word of mouth or sections in the bookstore.
Yeah, I've always relied on my friends to tell me what books to read.
Yeah.
Um, Confession there. But also, like, before I wrote and was moving into an author career, I never heard of like the big five publishers. Or like
Right.
even like there might be people here today who don't know what exactly genre means. And
Yeah.
I have a quick, easy answer for you. Genre is vibes.
Vibes. Yeah. That's probably the most accurate definition that I've heard. Cause like you could define it as like the tropes or something that most people that you encounter and usually because like I don't know, fantasy usually has magic or dragons, but not all fantasy has magic or dragons. So it is the vibe. Oh, Orson Scott Card, he wrote Ender's
Mm.
Game. He had a great definition, which was about the same lines. He's like, if the book could have a tree on the cover, it's fantasy. But if it could have a spaceship on the cover, then it's sci-fi.
I will let anybody who's concerned know that there actually are sci-fi and fantasy books that couldn't exactly have those on the cover. Like my
True.
favorite sci-fi stuff is time travel books.
Oh, yes. I've not read any time travel books, I will admit.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna give
Okay.
my list of my favorite time travel books.
Yes.
A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline Engel, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Newbery Award winner, and
She's a Christian.
yeah, she's a Christian author, and you honestly like will be so challenged by the themes in a very
Yeah.
age appropriate way because it is written for kids originally, but it's so timeless that it's just become a classic that everybody reads.
Right.
And then my second one, also a Newbery Award winner, I think, is When You Reach Me by Rebecca Steed. And it's so heartbreaking, but it's so beautiful. So just
Nice.
go read it and then like go to my contact form on my website and be mad at me because I broke your heart.
Yeah. That's great. Which time travel books are almost a form of magic. Well, I was gonna say they're almost a form of magical realism, but with in science fiction instead of like a magical element, because it's like it's everything is the same about our world except you can travel back in time.
Exactly. And I actually this is an interesting little tidbit is that one of this if you're going to go by like like writing publishing world definition of
Yeah.
what magical realism is. One of the stories in Fantastical Summer is not. It's
no.
actually, so everybody has these necklaces that they buy and it records everything that they do. And this is used as a self-improvement tool. And so nobody is able to move on from the past. Like they just keep holding on to these embarrassments and things.
Oh.
And that is a very like moving piece. And it's more along the lines of sci-fi if you're going to be technical about it. But like me as a reader, I'm like, I don't care. It's got the magical vibes. It's got the magical feel. It's got all these things that I love about magical realism.
Right.
So what does it matter what it's technically?
The technical, the vibe of it is what determines the genre. Yeah, that is a good point. I did in some of my research last time we recorded this because for all of you listening, we recorded this episode like 2 weeks ago, I think, and it was awesome. It was so good, and the audio file got completely corrupted, and so we're redoing it today. But I did do some research for that one, and in my research, I found that magical realism is one of the top genres that makes it into like award-winning literary prowess type books, like Newbery Awards or whatever. Like you get your contemporary literary fiction. There's some debate on what the line is between contemporary and literary fiction, but also magical realism because of its like great potential for like social and thematic and emotional commentary is also one of those really highly like praised by the experts genres, which is interesting because I'm not really seen we talked about this little I've not really seen much magical realism coming out of Christian circles.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time. And I will say, we're not just like recycling, doing the same thing twice. We're having an entirely different conversation this time.
We do, because I don't have that great of a memory to remember everything that we said.
Yeah. So I think the thing that really was in my heart about this is I was homeschooled.
I was as well.
From first grade to graduation. And the curriculum that I had was called Sunlight. So quick Sunlight rep out there. But one of the things that they did was in summertime, they would have a list of fun books for you to read over the summer. I loved this. This was my absolute favorite thing of all time because I love books, as many of you do.
Yeah.
And there was this book called Savvy by Ingrid Law. And I think it was up for some sort of award, which is kind of like a lot of the books that I read were like just ones that won awards because that was what my mom picked out.
Right.
And so I read this book, and after I read it the first time, I was like, it's got like magical kind of stuff. I don't think I can read any more of this because I wasn't sure how I felt about magic in books.
Right.
And there are people who don't know how they feel about it or do know how they feel about it and are not a fan of having magic in Christian fiction. I know there's like no magic fantasy and things. This is my conviction on it that I came to is that if the power is shown as coming from either good, God, or evil, not God. And the result of that power is either good or evil based on where it comes from, then there is nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And that is my personal conviction. But I also think that because there's been so much Christian fantasy, especially, we haven't really seen magical realism done in a way that has biblical themes.
Yeah.
And so that is one of the benefits of Fantastical Summer is that it's an introduction to this genre in a completely different way than the way that other people are doing this genre.
Right.
So the other side of it for me, though, is there are people who really love Pixar.
Yeah.
That probably haven't considered the fact that it is magical realism. So, for example,
Right.
Inside Out, really big recently. That's magical realism.
Right.
Because in real life, we do not have tiny little colored people inside of our brains that control our emotions and give us ideas.
Man, I'm so disappointed.
I know. And so if you're comfortable with Pixar and you love Pixar, this is book version of Pixar with very Christian themes. There's even Bible verses in Fantastical Summer.
Oh yeah, as I was skimming it, I found one of those in one of the stories.
What do you mean skimming it?
Like just flipping through it. I have. I'll make a confession. I have not read the whole thing yet.
Oh wow, Noah.
I mean to though. I do mean to. I've read some of those stories, but not all of them.
This is Noah, published author, in a book.
In a book.
Has not read all of the book.
No, which is, I guess, kind of scandalous and shameful of me. But
it came out pretty recently.
It did come out pretty recently, and hey, we're coming down the home stretch of school where we got a lot on our plate.
Yeah, although this is my little plug for having a lot on your plate is not a good reason to not read.
Yeah, that's true. I will say, over the weekend, I have read more than I've probably read in a long time, because Brad assigned me this book, The Lies of Locke Lamora, by somebody, Stephen Locke or something like that. Is the one with the blue cover that I was having?
Is this the book that you were reading on the 6-hour drive back from the conference we just went to?
Yes. It was that book.
Cool.
And it's great. I'm like I don't know, I'm like a third of the way through of it, and nothing bad has happened.
Okay.
It's really concerning.
Wait, did you buy this book at the conference or did you bring it?
I brought it.
Oh, okay. I thought you bought it at the conference.
Yeah, because I read the first chapter and it was so funny that I had to keep it.
Cool.
But Fantastical Summer is also on my list of things to read.
It better be.
I know, it better be.
I know where you live, Noah.
Yes, that's true. That's a little bit frightening. To bring it back around a little bit, Vella, how does magic, in particular Fantastical Summer, your book, how is it sort of a groundbreaking for kingdom literature? Because I remember on the Amazon description, it says beautifully brave, I think, is one of the descriptors, which I thought was really cool. And since it's a really unique genre, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah. I am gonna pick out the book since I brought a copy, just so anybody watching video wise can see it. But it is a collection of 15 short stories by 15 different Christian writers.
Yeah.
And it's beautifully brave because it talks about the hard themes without losing sight of biblical truth.
Yeah.
But I think that one of the biggest things that is bringing to Christian literature is the fact that it is fun.
Yeah.
It's not boring. And I'm going to say it twice because it's so important. It's not boring, but it is fun. It's got this fun summer vibes. It got this fun summer feel. It's got this fun cover with a mermaid on it.
Yeah.
And I think when Christians go from, oh man, we need to talk about the real stuff of life.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just talk about the hard real stuff of life and not talk about the good real stuff of life. And I think as Christians, we can be the most fun, most happy people.
Definitely.
Because we have the joy and the peace of Jesus.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And I think that may have been one thing, because last weekend we went to the Realm Makers conference. So it's a big Christian fantasy and sci-fi.
There were so many amazing, cool readers there. Very
cool people there. So it's for authors, readers, even filmmakers and video game developers. Really exciting stuff. So we went there to sell the company's books and just I don't know, be a part of the event. But Fantastical Summer in particular, out of all the books that we sold, I believe sold the most. It did very, very well.
Yeah, it was our top seller, which was a shock to me. I wasn't expecting it to be the top seller.
Yeah, which I think might speak sort of to what you're saying about it being really fun. Because a lot of when we think about like Christian fantasy, like these are these big, epic, thick, heavy sort of stories that are like vast and sprawling, and you got to keep track of a lot of people. And like people, readers, we love that. We love those big epic stories. But sometimes I think, it feels tiring, and there's like I think having this idea of short stories, they're really approachable, really easy to read, that are just fun and summary, is something that I don't know is really needed and very, again, approachable to a Christian reader who's just like looking for something, like, because there are so many books to buy at the convention. What one are you going to choose? And I think Fantastical Summer often was the one that people chose because it just looks fun and happy. It's like, oh yeah, I'll sit down an afternoon and I'll read a story here. Like, doesn't come with any stress. And then suddenly, as you read it, you get all these deep themes that you weren't expecting. But it's still, throughout it's fun and sort of lighthearted.
Yeah, honestly, I think it makes reading easy again.
Yeah.
There's a time to sit down and read Bonhoeffer's biography, and there's a time to just take like 20 minutes and read a really fun short story that will then later have you thinking about deep things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that is very valuable and a big even step forward for another area that Christians can, for lack of a better word, infiltrate, for the kingdom.
Yes, this is our evil plan to save the world, guys.
Yes, very evil. But yeah, I think it is valuable because we need the stuff that is like heavy and weighty, but then we also need stuff that is thoughtful and fun at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's been great having you on today. This was a great conversation. And before we go, where can people find you and all the cool stories and stuff that you're cooking up?
Yeah. So you can go to vellakarman.com, VellaKarman.com. And right now I have a free Bible study
Yes.
of verses and stories from the Bible about friendship.
Yeah.
So yeah, go sign up for that. Be in my newsletter, and that way you'll never miss the next book.
Yes, which is exciting because you got a couple in the works.
Yeah, just a few.
Just a few. But we can't tell you guys about that. So until next time, I'm Noah J. Matthews. This is Vella Karman, and this is a Curiously Good podcast. Man, that was so great talking with Vella. It's always a great experience to talk about deep stuff and fun stuff with another Christian author. If you haven't guessed already today's sponsor is Fantastical Summer, a collection of fun, faith-filled short stories, a Vella Karman anthology presented by the company. From the back of the book, what would you do if you started growing a fluffy tail every time you felt embarrassed? A mermaid outcast, a girl who can steal stars, and a high schooler suddenly affected by gravity in a gravity-free world? These are just a few of the fantastical premises you'll find in this collection of short stories. Weaving classic coming-of-age themes into magical versions of our world, 15 Christian writers each bring a fresh perspective on childhood, loneliness, and identity. Save a spot in your beach bag because this collection of clean, fun summer stories is more than a fluff read. This beautifully brave anthology leads us to ask hard questions while staying grounded in the truth of the Bible. You want to revisit these thought-provoking stories throughout the year. Head over to Amazon now and grab your new favorite summer read. Once again, I'm Noah J. Matthews, and this is a Curiously Good podcast. You made it this far, so make sure you're liking, subscribing, and commenting. For a weekly dose of Curiously Good literature, hop over to the Pearl at pearlmag.co and make sure you subscribe. Just by listening, you're contributing to better kingdom media. To sponsor an episode, email us at advertise@pearlmag.co. We'll catch you later.